Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has dropped a bombshell, revealing that the federal government under President Bola Tinubu is still paying fuel subsidy, despite the administration's announcement in June 2023 that it had removed the subsidy. In an interview with the Financial Times, Obasanjo criticized the manner in which the subsidy was removed, stating that the government should have put measures in place before taking such a drastic step. Obasanjo's comment comes as Nigerians continue to protest the removal of fuel subsidy. With demonstrations entering their fifth day on Monday, the protesters are demanding the return of fuel subsidy regime, citing the harsh economic condition and soaring inflation rates. The protests, which started on Thursday, have been largely peaceful, but the government's response has been lukewarm. The former president emphasized that the removal of the fuel subsidy has not achieved its intended purpose, as inflation has caused the subsidy to come back in another form. Because of inflation, the subsidy that we have removed is not gone. It has come back, he said. Obasanjo's statement has sparked a heated debate about the government's economic policies and its handling of the fuel subsidy removal. The NBS recently announced that core inflation has increased to an all-time high of 34.19% and 40.87% in June 2024. Further exacerbating the economic hardship faced by Nigerians. The inflation rate has been on the rise since the subsidy removal, with prices of goods and services skyrocketing. Obasanjo also stressed the need for investors' confidence in Nigeria, saying that the country needs to transition from a transactional economy to a transformational economy. You have to go from transactional economy to transformational economy, he added. The former president's comments are seen as a call to action for the government to rethink its economic policies and create a more conducive environment for investors. The fuel subsidy removal has become a contentious issue, with many Nigerians questioning the government's decision to remove the subsidy without putting adequate measures in place to mitigate its effects. The government's response to the protest has been criticized, with many seeing it as insensitive to the plight of the people. As the protests continue, it remains to be seen how the government will respond to the demand of the protesters and address the economic challenges facing the country. The fuel subsidy removal has become a major issue that requires a careful and thoughtful approach to resolve. The protests have brought attention to the economic hardship faced by Nigerians, with many struggling to make ends meet. The government's response to the protests will be crucial in determining the outcome of the situation. Will the government listen to the demands of the protesters and reconsider its decision to remove the fuel subsidy? Only time will tell. In the meantime, Nigerians continue to suffer the effect of the subsidy removal, with prices of goods and services remaining high. The government's decision to remove the subsidy has been seen as a betrayal by many who feel that the government should have done more to mitigate its effects. In addition, the subsidy removal has led to a shortage of fuel in some parts of the country, with long queues forming at petrol stations. This has caused inconveniences to many Nigerians who are already struggling to cope with the economic hardship. The government also needs to address the issues of corruption, which has been a major obstacle to economic growth. The fuel subsidy removal has also had negative impact on small businesses, with many struggling to stay afloat due to the increased cost of fuel. The government's decision to remove the subsidy has been seen as a blow to entrepreneurship and economic growth. Political analysts believe that Obasanjo's revelation could have great implications for President Tinubu's administration. Critics argue that the government's credibility is at stake and the continued payment of fuel subsidies undermine its reform agenda. Opposition parties have seized on the issues, calling for greater scrutiny of the government's economic policies. President Tinubu must come clean about the fuel subsidy. The Nigerian people deserve honesty and transparency, said an opposition leader. We cannot continue to operate under a veil of secrecy while the masses suffer. However, removing the fuel subsidy is a politically sensitive issue. Fuel prices are a key factor in the cost of living, and any increase would likely provoke public backlash. Previous attempts to remove the subsidy have been met with protests and strikes, forcing the government to backtrack. The Tinubu administration faces a difficult balancing act. On one hand, it needs to demonstrate fiscal responsibility and reduce the budget deficit. On the other hand, it must consider the immediate impact on ordinary Nigerians who are already struggling with high cost of living. As Nigerians navigate this challenging period, the government's handling of the fuel subsidy issue will be closely watched. The outcome will have far-reaching implications for the country's economic future and political stability. President Tinubu's administration must demonstrate a commitment to transparency, accountability, and meaningful reform to regain public trust and address the underlying issues driving the protest. The ongoing protest underscores the urgent need for change. The voices of ordinary Nigerians who are demanding a better future cannot be ignored. Addressing the fuel subsidy is just one step in the broader journey towards economic justice and good governance. The road ahead is fraught with challenges, but it also offers an opportunity for Nigeria to chart a new course and build a more prosperous and equitable society. Obasanjo's revelation has shone a spotlight on a critical issue facing Nigeria today: the continued payment of the fuel subsidy despite promises of reform highlights the complexity and challenges of governance in a nation grappling with economic hardship. As the government navigates this turbulent period, it must prioritize transparency, accountability, and inclusive dialogue to find sustainable solutions that benefits all Nigerians. The protests are a powerful reminder of the need for urgent and meaningful change, and the government's response will be a defining moment for the country's future. So guys, that's the news for today. I saw it and I decided to share with you all. Please do well to like, share so that YouTube can forward to as many people as possible. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye.